Well, welcome back to Homestar Inspections. My name is Toby here in South Florida on a property built in 1963. So a couple of key items I'll be looking out for. Of course, the roof. The roof's always a big pain point for insurance purposes and mainly for insurance purposes, really. Also from a cost standpoint of replacement, right? Another item to take a look at, the drains, which I looked on permits already online and found that the house was actually repiped underneath the drains with PVC in 2011. I told the buyer that the only way to tell if they're not sagging or any damage has occurred since then would be to get a drain pipe inspection, but that's up to them. The last would be electrical. And 1963 kind of have some areas that might see some older panels or panels that are known fire hazards, so I'll be looking out for those. And then just normal wear and tear and settlement. Let's see what we find. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are on the roof. This roof is a flat tile, and it's got this little tiny detail ridge right here, which thousands of inspections, I don't recall ever seeing that. They painted this roof, so did the neighbors, right? That roof is not painted. Several issues with painted roofs. Number one, tile roofs are designed to have water run underneath it, and they're designed to breathe. If you look at the neighbor's house right there, at the very end, at the eave, you'll see holes. Those are called weep holes. That's not only for water to come out, but also for air to get in and to help dry out the roof. When you paint this, you seal out all opportunities for that type of drying. And eventually, water's gonna find its way in somewhere, and that water can't escape. At the edge of this one, I'll show you from the bottom, there's no weep holes at all. And the drip edge is only like that tall. New drip edges are about that big. No roof permits were found for this roof, either through my website or through the building department. The only roof permit was found for the flat roof from 1996, which is almost 30 years old, right? Flat roofs have about a 10-year life expectancy here in South Florida. That has also been painted. You can see the little bit of flat roof over the front door right there as well. So, no roof permit and painting are problematic. The most problematic part of this, if you don't consider trapping moisture a problem, is insurability. Here in South Florida, insurance is extremely high if you can get it. And Citizens, which is quasi-government, quasi-private insurance company, is like the insurance company of last resort. So when you have several challenges with the property, age, some certain types of construction, the electrical panels are older, electrical system's older. A lot of times, private insurance companies don't want to touch this property, and it ends up in Citizens' hands. Well, Citizens has on their website a clause that says they no longer, or they don't, I don't know if they ever did. I don't think they ever did, but they came out, and it's on their website. I'll put a link to it. They basically said, in response to copious amounts of questions regarding paint on the roofs, and I call it paint, you can call it coating, you can call it a special whatever, all materials that are used to coat a roof, Citizens does not consider that in lieu of a re-roof, and it is not eligible for insurability. You think that's pretty important. You want to find that out up front, because you're buying a house and the insurance is going to be a hindrance unless you're paying cash and you don't get insurance. That's the only way around it. So this roof, no permit. The age of it is unknown. Average life expectancy is 25 years, and this one's well over that. It's been painted, no roof permits. Citizens is not going to insure it. So even without the insurability issue, I would still recommend re-roofing. So these buyers are going to have a re-roof here in the near future should they move forward with this property. Let's keep looking. Actually, the flat roof right here, it's got ponding going. You see where the water collects? That just acts as a magnifying glass and destroys the material even faster. Let's keep looking. Okay, this house is built in what, 1963?
Yeah.
thereabouts. So cast iron was used. There was a permit online for a repipe with PVC under the house in 2011. However, I can't find the clean out. And with a big live oak in the front yard right here, if the lines are going anywhere in this area, it could be problematic. So that's going to be a recommendation for a drain inspection. Let's keep looking. So here in the back elevation of the property, got the neighbor's dogs barking. We got a little bit of a washout, it looks like from sprinkler system, but it's right on the coping of the pool. So that's not good because you don't want the earth washing out underneath the pool and losing its support. Another thing is also sprinkler related. Sprinkler is spraying the house, and you can see right there, that's no bueno. So easy fix. Well, two things. One, it's gonna potentially leak inside, so I'll be double checking under that window. I check under all windows anyways with the moisture meter, but definitely spending some time there to make sure that no water has yet come inside. And number two, that it's on well system. So just inform the buyer of what they're getting. Let's keep looking. Okay, so here we are on the left elevation, and here's the main panel. It's made by Federal Pacific. This is a known fire hazard. A lot of insurance companies don't want to insure it, and the ones that do will make you pay for it. It's an overhead service going back through the trees right there to the power supply, and that's going to need to be trimmed out. That tree might need to be removed because it looks like it's just going to be an ongoing problem, but at the very least it needs to be cut down. And I always recommend that buyers don't do it themselves. They contact the power company to see, they'll have contractors that are licensed to. They might do it themselves, or you might have to pay somebody to do it, but don't ever trim trees that are touching power lines. You don't know what's energized and what's not. Moreover, on top of this being a Federal Pacific, this is also a fused. I'm not gonna unplug it because I don't know what that's powering right now. And that's what we got so far. Let's keep looking. We're at the main panel outside. There's a 150 amp service actually. Max is 200. The neutral and the ground come right here together. You see this?
Yeah, okay.
The neutral and the ground should only come together once. When it comes together twice, like downstream and here, it's double bonding. And this little panel right here is a prime example of the double bonding. You got the ground and the neutral right there coming together. Those should be separated and only come together here once. So that double bonding right there needs to be corrected.
Oh, okay, this is the next type fuse, 20 amps?
It's a 2-pole 20 amp, yeah. And it's not marked, so I don't know what it feeds, but the double bonding definitely needs to be corrected. That's what double bonding is. Let's keep looking. Okay, so here we are in the laundry room. We got a General Electric panel that's got some Murray breakers in there. I'm not familiar with those being compatible, so definitely have to double check that. We do see double bonding in here as well. You see right there on the neutral bus part here, we got a ground. That's indicative of somebody that doesn't know electrical, messing with electrical. Other than that, grommet missing on a big wire up there. No double taps, no overfusing. Everything else looks okay. Let's keep looking. Actually, we're actually here on the next one. Got the laundry room, water heater. This plug right here is a no bueno. Those are known to just fail all the time. So hardwiring the water heater and then putting in the leak pan underneath it. Let's keep looking. Oh, TPR valve downsize too. You see that right there? It goes from 1/2 inch to 3/4. Should be 3/4 all the way down. All right, let's keep looking. Time for another video on the outside here. We're looking at the covered patio and all the windows on each side, right? Mean that there's nothing structural holding those up except for maybe some intermittent columns, one of which is right here. And it's actually covered up with this thin aluminum, which makes you wonder why it's covered up, right? You come down here where it's actually cement block and you can see that the concrete is actually spalling. It's actually rusting and breaking out. That's never a good sign. So I'm going to recommend structural review of this because this is covered up and this is spalling, and that's actually the support for that. So even if the pole itself is in good condition, this is not in good condition whatsoever. So it can be fixed. Basically, you just have to dig out all the bad rebar, rebuild that support right there, and put in a new column, and you're good to go. Let's keep looking. Okay, so this house has a package unit, and the intake is right next to the shower.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's some information.
And you got evidence of ponding. This house is vacant, so you can't really say that it's not active because it's house is vacant, but you got definite evidence of ponding down there, and then some funk growing on the supply duct down there. Let me go ahead and zoom in. You see what I'm talking about?
I see that kind of
Right there.
pieces of cement.
It's all evidence of leak, water leak, and then the supply ducting right at the end, right before the coils. It's all dark right there.
Yes.
So
And at the
I'm
base.
gonna recommend a mold assessment in conjunction with probably rebuilding the shower.
Rebuilding the shower.
Well, the shower is definitely not original, but we don't know what caused that. And given that this house is vacant,
Yeah.
it's not under normal daily stresses. If we're under normal daily stresses and there was a family living here, then we could assume that it's previous, it's not active.
Yeah.
But nobody's living here, and we don't know for how long. But there was definitely an issue there before, and it's hard to say if it was ever addressed. So just bear in mind that it could be active. Just keep looking.